I see many French-speaking people and French learning students over here, which makes a beautiful audience. A very warm welcome to all our distinguished guests, university delegates, students, parents, working professionals, and business associates for joining us today for this special panel discussion on decoding AI careers in France. On behalf of Texas Review, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this insightful evening dedicated to exploring the future of artificial intelligence, data science, technology, and global career opportunities in France. Today, we are privileged to host representatives from France's leading institutions, Avon City School of Technology, Business and Society, ESCIP School of Engineering, DSTI School of Engineering, and Omnis Education Group schools. Those are ECE School of Engineering, INSEC School of Business and Economics, ESCE International Business School. On this occasion, I extend our sincere gratitude to our leadership team, Mr. Rajesh Kumar Dasari, Director and CEO, Texas Review International Private Limited, and Mr. Karthik Chaudhary Namburi, Director and CFO, Texas Review International Private Limited, for envisioning and creating platforms that connect aspiring students with world-class global educational opportunities. Artificial intelligence is reshaping industries worldwide, and France is rapidly emerging as one of Europe's strongest destinations for innovation, research, entrepreneurship, and technology careers. Though today's discussion, we hope every attendee gains valuable insights into the academic pathways, industry opportunities, and career prospects available in France. In addition to these insights, we believe learning extends beyond the classroom. This is exactly where the paper planes fits in. Here we provide international summer camps and short-term global immersion programs where students gain exposure to world-class universities, diverse culture, and international learning environments that helps them develop confidence, global awareness, and skills that prepare them to the future. Welcome to Paper Planes, where learning meets the world. Thank you once again for being here. Without further ado, I would like to take this wonderful opportunity to invite our visionary leaders and the dignitaries. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege to invite a visionary leader who has played a significant role in shaping the international education journeys of thousands of students across India. Mr. Rajesh Kumar Dasari, our Director and CEO, has been the forefront of building global academic partnerships and creating opportunities that enable students to access world-class education and successful international careers. Under his leadership, Texas Review has grown into one of India's most trusted overseas explore the evolving landscape of artificial intelligence, innovation, and international education. We are honored to hear from a leader who continues to champion global opportunities for aspiring students. I warmly welcome Mr. Karthik Chaudhary Namburi, Director and CFO, to come on to the dais to give a brief introduction about today's session, about the artificial intelligence and the other discussions. I request the audience a warm round of applause, please.
Hi, good evening everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome our esteemed university partners, parents, students, and associates to today's panel discussion about decoding AI careers in France. For many years, students traditionally focused on big four destinations like USA, UK, Canada, and Australia. While these remain excellent choices, today's global economic opportunity was far beyond these destinations. Students must explore emerging education hubs that combine world-class education, innovation, employability, and long-term career prospects. France is one such destination. It is not only home to the world's leading universities and business schools, but is also, sorry, I'm panting. Also one of the Europe's strongest innovation ecosystems. A perfect example is Station F in Paris, the world's largest startup campus. And adding further, the timing could not be better. Earlier this year, India and France jointly inaugurated India-France Year of Innovation 26, strengthening collaboration in technology, research, startups, AI and higher education. Further, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji will be visiting France this month, June 13th to 19th, for participating in Vivatech 26 Paris, where India has been named as official partner country. These developments are creating unprecedented opportunities for Indian students. By choosing France, students gain access not only to the quality education but also thriving ecosystem of startups, global companies, research centers, and innovation networks. Today's event is designed to help students and parents to understand more about the opportunities directly from the industry experts and university representatives. I encourage everyone to engage actively and make it productive. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the valuable insights and also about the upcoming updates on the artificial intelligence and also the India-France meet that is going on, that happened before and that is upcoming on June 13th. We are grateful to know about this information apart from the traditional destinations that the students normally choose. So now I heartily invite our honorable guests onto the dais. I request Mr. Karthik Namburi to welcome our guests. Mr. Harshavardhan Era, South Asia Manager at ESIP School of Engineering. I request you to please come onto the dais, sir. Mr. Amod Bhatt, Director at A1 City School of Technology, Business and Society. Ms. Mott, South Asia Manager for International Admissions at Omnis Education Group. Please come on to the dais. Ms. Disha Raj, Country Manager, India, DSTI School of Engineering. Thank you, everyone. Before we formally commence today's program, we invite our distinguished guests to participate in the traditional lamp lighting ceremony. May I now request our esteemed guests and dignitaries to kindly come forward and light the ceremonial lamp.
French language, and we are to you. Would love to have a panel discussion later. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the short and sweet description of the university. Now, I would like Mr. Harshavardhan Erra, South Asia Manager at ESIP School of Engineering, to give insights about the college.
Hello, very good evening to all. This is Harshavardhan Erra, South Asia Manager of ESAIP and Engineering School from Angers. Angers is a city which is on the western side of Paris, and we are specialized in two majors in English: cyber security and data science. The other major is environmental transition and energy management. So we offer these two masters taught 100% in English. And yes, we have other masters which are completely taught in French, ranging from artificial intelligence, cyber security, water management, environmental management. And we are one among the engineering schools which have all the accreditations and recognitions required by the French government. And also we have all our students well exposed to engineers of the world. Thank you.
Manager for International Admissions at Omnis Education Group, to provide insights about the courses offered at the colleges under the Omnis Education.
Thank you very much, and thanks for organizing such a great event. Speaking of engineering and AI in France, it's not often happening, so a wonderful initiative from Texas Review. Thank you for that. So yes, my name is Maud Lebars. I'm the South Asia Area Manager for Omnis Education, which is the second biggest private education group in France, with over 40,000 students and many different schools. In English taught programs, we'll have 3 main schools that would offer Bachelor in AI, Masters in AI, in data management, in sustainable energy futures, for those of you who want to help ensuring companies can use renewable energies as in their mix of energies and make this planet more safer and more environmental friendly. We also have MSCs in cybersecurity and so on and so forth. We have also business schools that would embed AI within their content, because this is the need of the hour. ESCE in particular would have strong programs in there. All of those are offered in Paris, whether it's ECE or ESCE. And in SIG, but I'm not going to go too much into details. I have 2 other hats that I want to mention, because they might provide a bit of credibility in whatever I'm going to say today in the midst of this wonderful panel. I'm the chairperson for the Higher Education Committee of the Indo-French Chamber of Commerce, which is the most active Chamber of Commerce of the French network in the world, with over 1,000 French companies here in India, making France the 3rd foreign employer in India. That's something you need to know. And we do a lot of things to make sure that an alumni of French schools, if they decide to come back to India, they would have opportunities as well here. And I have another hat. I'm a trade advisor to the French government. I was nominated twice by the Prime Minister of France to provide advisory on higher education matters to our diplomats, because the mobility of students from both countries this is something that is key in the strategy of France to build strong, sustainable relationship with India. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Maud, for appreciating us. We are honored to have that appreciation. And now I invite Ms. Disha Raj, Country Manager, India, DSA School of Engineering, to provide a brief introduction about the school.
Hi all, my name is Disharaj, and first of all, thank you Texas Review for having me here. It's my pleasure to be a part of this panel discussion. And DSTA is a data science tech institute where we have programs related to data science and technology. We are a specialized school in AI and cybersecurity. So everything is taught in English. We do have 1 bachelor program and 4 master program. All our programs are RNCP level 6 and 7 certified. This is a very brief introduction about my university, and I'll be discussing more about it. Thank you for having me here once again, Texas Review.
Thank you, Ms. Disha, for the brief introduction. And I thank everyone once again for these introductions about the university, which gives a little insight of what is happening today. And we now move on to the main segment of today's event, the panel discussion on decoding AI careers in France. Artificial intelligence is no longer the future, it is the present. The demand for skilled professionals in AI, data science, cybersecurity, digital transformation, business analytics, and emerging technologies continues to grow globally, and France is becoming one of the key destinations driving this transformation. Today, our experts and university representatives will help us understand why France is investing heavily in artificial intelligence and innovation, what career opportunities students can expect after graduation, how international students can prepare themselves for technology-driven careers, what makes France one of Europe's fastest growing education and startup ecosystems. I am confident that today's discussion will provide valuable insights for students, parents, and professionals looking to build successful international careers. To lead this discussion, I would like to invite Mr. Suresh Masta, Head of Admissions and Counseling Services, and Ms. Sarika Maisigari, Assistant Head of Europe Admissions, to moderate the panel discussion. Ms. Sarika, over to you.
Hello everyone, good evening. So today we are delighted to have the representatives from the France institutions for the panel discussion along with our management team. So, bonne soirée. So, as our CFO Kartik sir has already told, yes, before we start with the panel discussion, let us know few facts about France. So traditionally here in India, students and parents, they have considered the destinations like USA, UK, Australia as a primary choice. However, in the recent years, France has become one of the leading destinations in the world. So, before we start with the panel discussion, we aim to understand why France has become one of the leading destinations in the world, the unique academic and career opportunities it offers, the support system available for the international students, and the various initiatives or the advantages provided by the French government to the Indian students. So, let us begin our discussion. Before that, I even wanted all of us to understand the bigger picture of France. So, France is not only known for its rich culture and heritage, but it is also becoming a global hub for startups, innovation, research, technology, and the international education. So now let us begin our discussion. So my first question will be to Ivan City. So as we discussed, yes, France is becoming an increasingly preferred destination for Indian students. From your perspective, what are the major opportunities or advantages that France offers to the international students?
So, wonderful question, and rightly so, because France a couple of years back was not much known in India as a destination for studies. India is always predominantly looking towards USA or UK for higher studies, and there is historical data available as well. But of late, France has emerged as one of the strong destination or strongest destination in Europe, where Indian students have started looking at the overall opportunity. So I will try and give you perspective that how France has emerged as one of the very top destinations, and then what can probably support me on that. There are 2-3 reasons. First, India and France have very close political relationship. So it is going beyond politics. It is not necessarily only because of political reasons that France is having a very close relation. Historically, France does have a very, very nice, close, warm relationship with India. It has now become visible in last 2-3 years. And second thing is, there are 2-3 very important and strategic decisions that were made by both the countries. First is equivalency agreement. So France and India decided to have an equivalency agreement for the educational qualifications that are offered by both the countries. So a lot of exercise has gone in, and both the countries have decided to accept each other's qualifications at par on the basis of credit mapping exercise that might have taken place or that might take place eventually. So if you go to, say for example, Association of Indian Universities, which is a body which recognizes foreign qualification in India, then you will come to know that they have officially declared any recognized French qualification as accepted qualification in India. What does it mean? And to your surprise, I would like to share with you, many of the other foreign countries' qualifications are not accepted in India. If you want to register for your PhD, if you want to register for an entrance exam for public sector, private sector organizations, which is great surprise for many Indian students if they happen to come back to India. But French qualifications have been given a complete freedom to be accepted as a base qualification equivalent to any Indian qualification for appearing for your PhD entrance examinations, public sector, private sector entrance examinations. So that is one of the greatest strength. But when students migrate to France, if you are having an Indian passport, then French government has given you little bit extra or try to identify you as a special privileged candidate coming from India, offering some extra added benefits. Why? Because of, again, non-political decision. Now when it comes to artificial intelligence, currently whatever is the discussion, either there is US or China, and then I think, this is my personal perception, you can have your own as well, where is the third front available? So either it is China or US, but countries who are in between, they will have to have their core strength developed, and that is where I think France and India coming together creates that balance by bringing in third front as far as artificial intelligence and data is concerned, and that is where French government has identified that there is a huge talent pool, and historically Indian students have proved that globally, how they have changed the economies of Western countries, English-speaking countries. I don't have to give you any evidence because much of the talent from Andhra and Telangana is already doing what they have done to, for example, US. So there is huge talent already there in India, and it has, many countries have reaped benefits out of it. But at the same time recognizing it, and I would like to quote here that French president is the first only political figure who has come to India and publicly said that India has nothing to prove to the world. Look at the top 15, 20 companies, global companies, and you will find Indian at the top post. So after this type of a global contribution, does India needs to prove again to the world? His opinion is there is no need to prove. India already has proven to the world what they are capable of, and it is for now France to take advantage of that by inviting Indian students to come to France and study first, and then try and explore possibilities of their employment, career, including startup ideas and all that. So don't just look at it as sort of migrating for looking at a job and all that, which is anyway going to be there, because students don't migrate for tourism. They migrate with the intention of first completing a very high class education which is available in France. Second is what type of support government is going to give me, that particular government where I am migrating. It is already established fact that what France is offering, including 1+1 stay back option for Indian students and all that. And third, importantly, with the qualification that you acquire in France, it opens up all European Union for Indian students to officially, legally travel and look for their career opportunities. So you're not restricting yourself to one geography. When you come to France, or even for that matter, Germany, it opens up 28, 29 Schengen countries where under European Union, you can officially go around and look for your placement opportunities. So given all these 2-3 factors, France is becoming very, very attractive for Indian students. Students are looking at France as a country, particularly for high technology studies, artificial intelligence and data. And now in last 2 years, numbers are really, really going up. Now this year we are expecting absolutely more than maybe 10,000-15,000 students from India, particularly I'm talking about data, artificial intelligence and related subjects, where students are looking towards France as one of the best, strongest option to come and study, because education is also offered in pure English language. So you don't have to worry about whether I know French language or not. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing those insights, Amod. It's encouraging to understand how France is opening new opportunities for Indian students. However, choosing a country is the only first step. Adapting to a new academic, cultural environment is also equally important. Now, moving to ESAIP, I would like to bring ESAIP into the conversation. So, moving towards student life and integration, could you provide insights on the subsidized student housing?
Yeah, when it comes to subsidized housing for the students, it's not only ESIP, but it's common to any university or any school in France. France is the only country that treats international students on par with the local students. So the French government has a provision called CAF, which allows the students to stay on a subsidized accommodation cost in France, subject to certain parameters and subject to certain requirements. But yes, French government supports the international students, including the Indian students, with subsidized accommodation. Once the student lands in France in their respective accommodation, they need to apply for CAF in the respective mairie, and then they can get subsidized accommodation or the refund of the accommodation that they have paid. It can be up to 30 or 35%. Am I clear?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for the highlighting the importance of student support and integration. Now my next question would be for the STI. So beyond academics, building a career in France is an important goal for many students. So how does France support international students in integrating into society and developing successful career after graduation?
Well, the STI School of Engineering would help all the international students for career growth. Like we have a direction of studies which is going to help the student right from the day of interview. Like once the student is done with the interview, the direction of studies sit together, understand the student's profile, and will decide on the scholarship. So that is the first part where the direction of studies comes in picture. Then after that, we also have something with the CV preparation. Like Indian students usually have a CVs of 2 to 3 pages, but in France it's only one single page. So we at DSTI will help the student to prepare the CV, we help with the mock interviews, and also we make sure that students do attend each and every sessions, like it could be a fair kind of thing, or a company coming in and talking about their insights. And also we have a huge alumni association, where they come to our university every 6 months once, and they're gonna talk about the company they are working for, and many of our students have been placed in their own companies. Like we do provide students hands-on project right from the first year, it's not only the final year. So our students are more prepared on advanced basic work, advanced level more than just a theory thing. So our students are initially, once they start with the university, right from the second semester, we do help the students to get an internship, and in the final year, we do get a paid internship for our students. It could be a capstone kind of project. So our students would be ready for any job in the market. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Disha. Thank you for your valuable insights. And now I would like to ask the next question to the representative from Omnis. So many students and parents are also concerned about the financial aspects of studying abroad. So we are aware that French government provides the scholarships to the international student. So please let us know what are the available scholarships for the international students and how can students apply for it and what is the eligibility criteria.
Even before speaking about scholarship, I'd like to say that one of the positive aspects of studying in France is that it's not that expensive in the first place. So the tuition fees would be, even in private school, all of us, our private schools would be reasonable versus all the options you can see around the world, and they would be very similar to what the European or the French students are paying. Unlike some country, the other side of the sea, who are, charging you much more than their own students. So this is something important in the first place. So we're not starting from so high up. So the French government last year for Indian students had distributed around 15 crore INR of scholarship for students from India before they left. And once you are there, you have, anyway, even if you didn't get that kind of scholarship, you have the CAF eventually, but you also have the public health system that is free of cost for you. So that means not only if you get hospitalized, everything is covered, and for France, but you can have it extended to the Schengen zone. So the 27 countries that are part of the Schengen zone, when you travel, you're covered as well. Yeah. So that's important to know. But even if you go and see a doctor outside the hospital or you get your prescribed medicines, at least 70% of what you spend there is also reimbursed. So health is taken care of as well. Then the schools might be given scholarship. I know we do on merit for Omnes, of course, but every school will have their own share of options. There would be scholarships, that are offered by also outside partners. But I would like to mention as well that a way for you to eventually help in supporting yourself is for the cost of living, for instance, which is around 10,700 euros nowadays in France, much less than our neighbor country, I would say. You're allowed to work part-time from the first day. There is no on or off campus, elements here. An average of 20 hours per week. My say on this is that if it's the very first time you've ever been doing a part-time job, probably wait 3 months before starting doing it. The time for you to get very much at ease with the overall environment, that it's possible for you to study efficiently and maintain a part-time job on the side, but it is very flexible, and there is a minimum amount that you are sure to be paid for that, so that should help you. There is the internship, part of what makes France so good in terms of, worldwide recognition in our education is how employable our students are, because students are pushed to do internships. Engineering student, for instance, if they go to what we call the Grande École program, which is 5 years. To be an engineer, you need 5 years of studies in France, a full engineer, I'll take the example of a mechanical engineer, for instance. First year, first internship will necessarily be to be a worker on the line, a production line, because you need to learn not only about how the process works, but also about the people you're going to manage later. Second year, you'll be with the technicians on the line, and here you will learn again to debug the problems on the line. So technically wise, you are moving up the ladder, but also these are more senior people that you're going to learn to understand because you're going to manage them later. And then finally, you can start having your internship in third year, managing your own projects. So you're very much ready and employable from day one to start as a full engineer with responsibilities when you graduate. And internships are paid by law in France. You are guaranteed to be paid. There's a minimum amount engineering, but that can be more than 1,000 euros per month. And your schools would have organized time for you every year to be able to do those internships. I know it's true for Omnes to that extent, and that helps you, in fact. And instead of becoming a French fries making expert only, and like in many other countries, you can really build your CV in the process and earn and cover for your cost of living. And finally, and that's normally not something you do in the first year, but could be from the second year you are in France, there is what we call the work-study program. So here, it's a company that would pay your tuition fees and pay you a stipend. And the studies are organized in a way that allows you to be sometime in the school, sometime in the company. In Omnes, we have 40,000 students. 18,000 of our students are under this kind of contract. So we know it exists. It's massive. Companies are trusting students, but don't expect to have access to that from India before coming and without making the effort of maybe learning French, for instance, because obviously that's a huge investment for companies. But they do it massively. Last year, they did it for 1 million students in France. So these are ways for you to make the studies affordable, and I think this is another reason to choose France. Oh yeah, just right. Yeah, it's recent law. Every student is allowed a full meal at the university, public university mess, and every student, as long as you have a student card, you are allowed to go, and you will have your full meal for €1 only. €1, that's currently 100 rupees. Yeah. Yes. No. So that's another. It's a subsidized meal that is offered. And that has now been offered to every single student. Yeah.
Thank you, Maud. Thank you for your valuable insights. So now we have understood why France is an attractive destination. The next important question for students is choosing the universities or the institutions that best aligns with their interests and career goals. So my next question is to Avancity. Sir, Avancity is known for combining artificial intelligence, data science, and business. So how this interdisciplinary approach prepares students to become future leaders in AI-driven?
Thank you so much. Nice question. At Avancity, we have taken two very important decisions. First, we have decided and we have thoroughly understood that artificial intelligence is not necessarily only for computer science people. And second thing is everyone, practically everyone can study artificial intelligence. Now, when I say this in India, many institutions, many universities, many students show on their face sort of question mark. How this is possible? Because we, all being Indians, we know that if you only do 12th science, then only you can get into science or engineering. No way you can get into engineering if you or science, maybe if you have completed arts or commerce or business. So that is where the restrictions, boxes have been created. But artificial intelligence is one such technology. Please listen to me carefully. One such technology which has flattened the world. Artificial intelligence is not computer science. Artificial intelligence is much about the pure computer science, and artificial intelligence is very democratic. Artificial intelligence needs everybody. Students coming from arts, science, languages, physiotherapy, medicine, you name, law, you name any faculty, AI needs that, because AI depends, as far as algorithm designs, logics are concerned, data points are concerned, AI fully depend on person's incredible knowledge, during the bachelor studies or studies doing in interdisciplinary way. That is where Avancity has decided to open doors for studying artificial intelligence for students coming from all faculties. We have students from India. One student, she has done her BA in Sanskrit and she is studying with us. Can you imagine? And she wants to be a bridge between Sanskrit language and artificial intelligence related ethical practices and what artificial intelligence talks about, algorithms. And also when interview was conducted, she told us why she wants to study artificial intelligence rather than we telling her to study artificial intelligence. And on the spot, we gave her admission because this is what exactly AI needs. Second one is from physiotherapy. Student coming from physiotherapy wants to study artificial intelligence. Students coming from commerce background, they wish to study artificial intelligence. So what I'm trying to say is artificial intelligence is open to everyone. And how? Because in India there is a perception that it is only technology or computer science. It's not. In artificial intelligence, I always give an example of Excel sheet. Excel sheet is very common in India, which is a Microsoft product. We all have used Excel sheet somewhere or the other, in a small way or in a large way, professional way or entry level way. We don't know, but we have used it. Now, if you look at Excel sheet, you are not necessarily an Excel developing engineer, are you? Very few of them. And Excel is completely controlled by Microsoft. Microsoft does, when it started, or Excel sheet was introduced 25, 30 years back, it had only 700 functions. Now 30 years down the line, Excel sheet has more than 3,000 functions. Now how it has developed as a main data management platform is very interesting case study. But this is what engineers within Microsoft, computer science graduates within Microsoft are continuously improving on the basis of technology. But that is not the end. That is a very limited group because it is held in Microsoft confines. Who are the major beneficiaries? Major beneficiaries are those who are using Excel as an expert. People who are experts in operating on Excels are equally getting opportunities of employment globally. You can tell them that, you can tell a company that I'm super expert in operating on Excel. Company will tell you, tell me how much you want, because that is what company is asking for, because this guy comes as a problem solver. And this is exactly what artificial intelligence is. Either you become developer or you become expert user. It opens door for you. But if you try to hide, if you try to run away from it, then probably maybe 3 years down the line, you will see that, oh, I lost my opportunity. I would have at least become an expert user. And that is what is currently happening. So it is not challenging anything. It is just telling people, students, youngsters, to adapt to AI. And that is exactly what Avancity is doing, helping students to do adaptation to AI, either as a science, as engineering or management. And wonderful story, which I would like to tell as the last point here is, one of the students from Hyderabad, his name is Vishal, is currently in France, is one of the most celebrated candidates because he has secured his, as an Indian, first Indian to secure patents in a military technology on a drone technologies from Hyderabad right here, and very soon his entire interview will be published in Times of India, that how he decided to come to France, what is the environment of France, how France supported him, and now French government has issued him a patent on drone technology, which is for, actually they are going to use it for developing their war tactics. So can you imagine what is happening? And this is happening only because of artificial intelligence flattening the world, and Vishal becoming a success story coming from Hyderabad, now staying in Paris, and you can check his profile on LinkedIn. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Amod. Thank you for your valuable information. As you said, yes, technology continues to advance. The world also needs engineers and professionals who can address the global challenges. So my next question is to ESAIP. Sustainability, environmental transition and clean energy are becoming the global priorities. So how do ESAIP program prepare students to contribute to the future of sustainable development and innovation?
Yes, thanks for asking that. We at ESAIP offers a master's program dedicated to environmental transition and energy management. which covers most of the aspects of energy transition, harnessing the energy both from various sources like solar, wind, biomass. So any student who would like to explore the opportunities to become an environmental engineer or an energy engineer can take the benefit of this program, work on the engineering modules of harnessing the energy, the energy transition. Besides that, we also have an additional module of environmental transition. Mechanical engineering, civil engineers, whoever has a very clear motivation to safeguard and protect the environment and who is a graduate can take up this program.
Thank you Harsha. So now we have a online session, like we have one of our CEO of the DSTI School of Engineering who is here to join us virtually. So let us wait for the 2 minutes. So let us now welcome Mr. Sebastian, the CEO of DSTI School of Engineering, who has joined us virtually.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here. Can you hear me okay? Am I audible?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
So good evening, Sebastian.
Good evening to you all.
So we have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So beyond academics, building a career in France is...
So DSTI has a strong focus on data science, artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. So what makes DSTI approach unique among institutions offering these programs?
Sure, pleasure. So one of the very unique features is we have from the beginning embedded the professional certification in technology, Amazon AWS, Cisco, Microsoft, of course, so many of the SaaS, also Institute for Statistical Analysis, and many others. For those of you maybe are less familiar, as I'm an engineer myself, in the world of digital technologies, and this is particularly true in cybersecurity, but not just, the employers very often demand, or at least privilege, graduates and people who have the certification exam. It's basically like a language test, but for technology. So the vendor, Microsoft, Cisco, have these exams of a certain level, just like a language test. And you take this exam
And you become certified, it goes on your LinkedIn, etc. to prove to your employer that beyond, the academic knowledge that you
acquire at school during your education, you actually have the command of the technology layers and steps. So for us, this was one of the key of the question even of the STI is combining the academic with this. So all of our programs have at least one course per year minimum. In fact, there's more than that, but one course that prepares for the certification exam. For example, I am an Amazon instructor, and the course is delivered by a skilled professional with the official contents, with labs, materials, etc., so that the students take our own exam internally, and they take the external exam as part of the program. It's included even in their fees. So they become certified as well as graduates of the school. And that has really been a key factor into pushing employability.
Okay. So Sebastian, like what kind of practical learning opportunities, the live industry projects, internships and case studies can the students expect during their studies at DSTI?
Of course, sure. So the second aspect will be this. There's a wide range of courses that will be project-based and coursework-based, and again, beyond the academic work, my colleagues at corporate relations prepare the students also to showcase everything they do on public platform, public repositories. So it's not just a piece of code, dropped somewhere. They learn also how to present these various coursework projects that they do. In France, it is, in Europe in general, but in France in particular, internships are an integral part of any program. It's mandatory to be done on the final year of your studies, so the last year of your bachelor, of your MSc. It has to be 6 months. It's credit granting, so it grants 30 European credit transfer system, 30 CTS. This is your transcript of grades. It's evaluated by the company, and if it's done in France, because our students can do internships anywhere in the world, but in France it is paid as well, and it's relatively well paid, particularly in our discipline. Now, the advantage of this system is it replaces what is commonly known in the English-speaking world as graduate programs for companies. So the normal way, I'm the CEO of DSTI, of a company. When I want to hire a young graduate, my normal process, like everyone else in France, is you take an intern, an end of study intern, 6 months. It's kind of the trial period, if you want, and then if everything goes well, you recruit them. The internship forms legally the trial period. So when you get employed, the 6 months that you've done are already counting as your trial period, so you enter directly in permanent employment with no probation period. So it's really the way that the job market works in France, and it's very efficient for employability. I'll look back to what I was saying earlier. The fact that they arrive on the job market, seeking for an internship with already at least one professional certification makes them, one step higher in employability.
Yes. So the artificial intelligence is transforming every sector, including engineering, business, management, finance, and technology. So how do you see AI reshaping career opportunities over the next decades?
It's becoming clearer what's happening now. There was a bit of uncertainty maybe a year or even a couple of years ago about what will be happening, but now we see it. The biggest question, and there's even official surveys and reports being done, the big question is for
fresh graduates. Because the typical assignments at work that you would give to a young graduate tend to be what we could call repetitive tasks, etc., because you need to learn. And this is where AI tools are creating a huge question. Many jobs, many activities at that level of juniority, if I may say, are becoming replaced by automation tool, AI-based automation tool. That's a fact now, it's an observed fact. And if you decide to study subjects like marketing and communication, well, good luck, because this is gonna hit you really bad. The only way to answer for this is to be educated and to not being the subject of that, but to be the maker of this change. So if you are on the side of being the maker of the science of AI, the integration of AI in the information system chains, in automation, in understanding, reporting, visualizing, so the main role, that positions you in a very different way where you still become, employable. And it's not new. When electricity arrived, we had the same question. When telecom arrived, we had the same question. And the reality is that students right now really need to consider, where do I want to be? Do I want to be on the side where this automation will take my job, my activities, or do I want to be on the side of creating it? And coming to a place like the STI is definitely to be on the side of creating it.
Thank you. Thank you, Sebastian, for your valuable insights on internships, employability, and the AI technology evolving.
Thank you very much.
For joining the session virtually. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Sorry.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So now coming back, my next question is to Omnis Group of Education. So Omnis Group of Education brings together institutions like ECE, INSEC and ESCE. So how do your programs combine academic excellence, practical learning and industry exposure to prepare the students for their global careers?
Thank you very much. That gives me the chance maybe to mention the type of certifications that give you an idea of quality according to the French government. So you have a sort of a pyramid, I would say, that gives you an idea. So as long as the degree, and the degree specifically, not just the school, the degree should be either RNCP. RNCP is a certification that is given by the Ministry of Labor. So it's only interested in employability building. That's the first layer that guarantees post-study stay visa for masters. Bachelor doesn't have such, post-study stay visa. But after master, if you don't have RNCP, yes, you are eligible for post-study stay visa in France, but it's not recognized under the MOU of mutual recognition of degree between our two countries. So it's going to be considered as a good PGDM year. And it's not going to allow you to go for PhD behind. Okay, so you need to be aware of that. If it's just RNCP, that's the deal. But this is something that is audited by the French government, by the Ministry of Labor on a regular basis. So you have a certain level of guarantee here, and it is verifiable on the website of the French ministry. Then you have CGE certification. The Grandes Écoles schools are, I would say, a sort of mix between autonomous university and excellence center somehow. These are schools in France that are allowed to be selective, so they're allowed to complete a competition to welcome the students. The public universities are not supposed to do that. That's the difference. So because of that, they obviously, can be a bit choosy on who they can allow in, and to be able to attract the best, they have also to build very strong programs. So they have the authority to have their own type of certification that gives the post-study stay visa, that normally gives also access to PhDs in many places, because it would include this element in the program, but would not necessarily be recognized as a full degree officially by the ministry, by the Indian government. But again, would be a good PGDM again, I would say. And then finally, you have those degrees coming directly from the Ministry of Higher Education and Research. So here, these are covering everything. Because it's so high up, by right, you also have RNCP. And you're not getting it forever. You're going to get it with an audit on a regular basis here again. But if you get that type of certification, you're sure to have also RNCP, both together. So it is building to help you get to the next level of your studies. So if it's for bachelor, to get to master. If it's for master, to get into PhD anywhere in the world, because they are, within the MOU of mutual recognition of degrees. And of course, they give the post-study stay visa. So that's already something you can look in to see first that the French government has put in place systems to guarantee quality, which is well recognized around the world. In France, we have 20 to 25% of the top 100 masters in management in the world in the Financial Times ranking since 2015. And we have in SIC, that is part of that. In top 200 QS ranking, there are many French schools. ESC in SIC would be among them. We have quite a lot of the schools that are triple accredited. The accreditation of the school this time is also something that gives you an idea of quality. That is, again, audited on a regular basis. So you have all those elements. So this is one thing. Sorry, I lost a bit the question from the beginning. Sorry.
So it's all about the like how do your programs combine academic excellence and the practical learning?
Thank you. So part of what is looked into, obviously, Ministry of Labor first of all, but also for the Ministry of Higher Education and Research, is how well those students are entering the employment market. So how well they are prepared for this. And it's true also, if you go look at the Financial Times ranking, they look at that. They don't look just about whether you have a lot of researcher professor, that you publish so many research. That's part of what it could be, but mostly we are very well ranked around the world on the research part, but also on the employability building. So how do we do that? In Omnes, 1 internship per year. We have 10,000 corporate partners for 40,000 students. That's 1 company for 4 students. And we don't do just, opening opportunities for internship, for jobs, for work-study format, as I said, where we are particularly strong, but also to bring the companies to inside the classroom. So we have about 5,000 professors. They are people who are currently employed in different roles. So they will be teaching. We just signed for EC Engineering School. We re-signed a partnership to even more integrate Capgemini within the content of our courses. So not only for hackathon, but to have their people coming in, to have their data coming to feed of intelligence lab. We have an AI intelligence lab, and our students have developed last year 2 of the top 10 low resource LLMs on Hugging Face. One of them was even ranked first in the world when DeepSeek came, and that was our students to develop that using facilities that were brought by companies. And I've mentioned Capgemini, but I could mention so many. When we build new programs, they would be backed by at least 5 companies that are sponsoring it so that it can be registered by the French government. So you see there's a system around.
At WAZO, we believe in proof, not promises. That's why when...
So, yeah, no problem. So these are the kind of things that we do to really help case studies. It's very experiential for sure.
Yes, Maud. Thank you. And the next question is to ESAIP. Like how early a student can start their internships and how it is important in securing the employment opportunity for after graduation.
See, when it comes to ESAP at our university or at our school, internships are part of the program. So the last semester, say around 6 months is dedicated for an internship. So students need to keep internship in mind right from the beginning. So in order to get an internship in France, it is not that easy. So the students need to work really hard on their core modules. They need to work a bit on the French language as well, because getting an internship in France always demands certain level of French language. I'm not talking to be very fluent, but at least the basics or a working knowledge of French. And students need to take the advantage of students support, dedicated corporate relations department at our university, which guides them and coaches them on time to time basis. So it's always better students start searching for an internship by the end of their first year, and keep searching say in the third semester, but definitely they need to keep the core modules and also the language in their mind. And once they are through an internship, it's almost pretty easy for them to get through a professional placement as well. So this is what I can say. And Maud would like to add something more.
I just would like to add, because business may be a little bit more than for engineering. Just for you to know, in February 25 was the first AI summit. I know there was an amazing one in Delhi this year, but the very first one was in Paris in February 25, a bit more than a year ago. And in France, we announced 109 billion euros of private investment in the field of AI to build data centers in France. The second day of the event, there was European Union President of Commission. She said 200 billion, but for the rest of European Union. So France was attracting last year already more than 1/3 of the total investment in the field. All right? But we only graduate, it takes 5 years to graduate an engineer in France. We only graduate 40,000 per year, and what the French president was saying, that to feed the need of the companies over there, we will need to graduate 1 lakh per year by 2030. But this year, the French president came here, and he announced that already 60% of those 109 billion euros have been in place. So it's already happening now. So clearly, the companies, even though of course they would prefer someone who can converse in many languages, they cannot afford to be too picky on language. It's more about style of cultural elements, knowing how to work with people over there. That I think, and the language helps in this, but it is the most important element here. And the skills, obviously, because they expect you to be professional and being employable on day one, even as an internship level. So really focusing on participating to what is in class, but also all those schools have a lot of things that are not mandatory, but available for you to take advantage of. Student association, hackathons, case studies, conferences with companies. You need to be available for it, to take advantage of that and to learn so that you are ready for those internships. We do not have placement in France the way it's happening in India, let's be clear. No school can promise you to put you at the interview stage with company, because that doesn't work this way. And I've been myself an HR in France, in New Zealand, but also in India, and I know the difference. I used to work for Procter & Gamble, P&G, in France. Over there, this company that is very well known, you would expect everyone to want to come here. No, I had to go and do what we call employment branding to make the young people as early as the first year of their higher education interested in us and thinking of us the day they're looking for an opportunity. Because the demography has nothing to do with India. We have lost 7 lakh kids in our school in France in the past 10 years, and the projection is 1.35 million less by 2035. The population is aging, we need more people, and that's France. And Europe, the rest of Europe is even in a worse place. So there are plenty of opportunities coming your way, and in AI in particular. Yeah.
So my next question is to Amod. So France is a home to globally recognized innovation ecosystem such as StationF and Vivatech. So how these ecosystems create unique opportunities to the international students?
Yeah, France itself is in a unique position, as far as international student or welcoming international students in general and Indian students in particular, because as far as my school's current positioning is concerned, while even doing the counseling, we tell students to think of the project in their mind, because at artificial intelligence, at whatever level you wish to study, as I keep telling, it is like opening up opportunities for someone who really wants to get into something as a startup idea. And that is where the beauty of studying artificial intelligence is, and where Indian students' traditional mentality of looking for job should be overshadowed with having a project in mind. Because application of AI, generating, developing algorithm is something is more related to your core thought process about solving a problem, rather than sitting somewhere and doing a job which has been told to you to do and then look for salary. I mean, those days are changing just because AI has come into as a disruptive technology. But flip side of that is everyone has an opportunity. The way you look at it, so during our interview processes also, when we select candidate, we don't allow them to come over for the selection interview immediately. What message we send to them is, please do your research, use ChatGPT, use whatever other method model you have in front of you. Think of something as a project, that why am I going to study data engineering and cloud computing? Is it just because looking for job here and there? Is it limiting my capacity, limiting my own potential to just look for job here and there, and if not, then crib myself that, oh, I'm not getting job? This is not. Artificial intelligence is actually challenging your talent, that if you study data engineering, cloud computing, think of some project which can convert into a startup idea. We will help you to make a business deck out of it. We will help you to pitch it to probable investors. And that is where your career should kickstart. I mean, of course, looking for job is always there in back of your mind. But coming into someone like Avancity with AI and data science as a core, we openly tell students that just don't think only about job. Think about having a global company set up in France, and we are there to help you. So make something as a project, talk to our faculties. We will help you design a business deck, present it to probable investors, and start thinking about creating a global company like what Vishal is doing, drone used in military technology. Now very soon it will be a global application, and there where your opportunity lies, rather than Vishal looking for some job here and there and calling back, there are no jobs, I don't know French language, or nothing to do with French language, because 29 Schengen countries are open. They are ready to talk to you in English. Now you look at Germany, entire education is now offered in English. Come to France, in Italy, they are ready to teach English, because as Maud was saying, they're looking for talent to come in. Lack of talent because of the lack of the population growth. So they are very wealthy. They have design, but they want people who can utilize this and create global companies the way it was done in US. So that is where the actual opportunity for Indian student is, and that is where Avancity has a special dedicated cell to help students think right from the beginning about designing something as a project. Start thinking of it, explore it, and that is where I think why we allow, or rather encourage, students from other faculties coming and joining, because that is where the sense of what is happening in pharmaceutical industry, what is happening in textile industry. I am just an engineer, and if I don't have a flair of what is happening in around the world in the various industries, I would be just thinking about myself as a computer science engineer looking for job. And that is not done. There is where AI is going to just take over everything if you are not becoming a thinker.
Yes, Amod. Thank you. Thank you so much for your valuable suggestions. So now it's my great pleasure to welcome Lauren, the Director of International Relations at Avancity.
Hello everybody. Hello from France.
Hello, hi.
Hi. Can you hear me well?
Yes, yes. So
Perfect.
now we have a question to you.
Sure.
So how AI is driving the global scenario? Which emerging AI domains do you believe students should focus on over the next 5 to 10 years?
Okay, thanks for this question. As you all know, because now AI is in our life of everybody, things are moving so fast. And the reality of yesterday is not the reality of today, and is not going to be the reality of tomorrow. So basically what we are saying to all our students is that we are going to train them for jobs that do not exist. And this is the key message that I would like to share with you, is that now the skills in our field in particular has a duration of 1 to 3 years maximum. What will be next innovation? I don't know. But what I know is that we know how to prepare the students in the basics, in the fundamental skills of machine learning, deep learning, because it still be there. But also, one thing which is super important for us is the soft skills that the students will need to get, which is analytical thinking, capacity to work on a stressful situation, capacity of adaptation, and capacity to learn things that they haven't learned at school. So basically, I know that I'm not directly answering your question, but this is our true belief of how we should consider AI in the next future.
Thank you. And also we have another question for you. Like, could you share more about Avancity's collaborations with industries, startups and technology companies, particularly in the field of AI?
Thank you for this question, because for us this is really crucial. We believe that now experts in the field of AI are not only good theoretical experts, good tech experts, but they should have the capacity to deal with industries. At Avancity, we have more than 30 strategic partners, industry partners. Our students and alumni have been in more than 1,000 different companies. And you have to know that at Avancity, every year, students have to go on internship, whatever program, whatever year, or apprenticeship, which is 3 weeks in a company and 1 week at school. And also, they work on what we call AI clinic projects, which is a class, where students spend between 6 to 9 hours every week working in groups on real projects proposed by real companies. So from the first year, for example, in our 5 years program, the first year after high school, students will work on projects proposed by our partners company. Of course, we have one of our professors that is managing and shaping the projects according to the level of the students. Then the students will work on those projects for 1 semester, and they will change a project every semester, which means that at the end of a 5 years program, for example, they will have worked on 10 different real-life projects with potentially 10 different companies that will bring them a very wide view of the possibilities of activities that can happen in small-sized company, startup, super tech company, next small-sized company, big groups, and that's what we want to give to our students in terms of real life experience. One more thing that I want to add, in our approach, students I mean, 50% of our professors are experts in company. They are either head of AI, head of big data, head of analytics in their company, and they are bringing their knowledge and their real life experience. And that's also why we believe our students are very enthusiastic about our approach, which is not theoretical, top-down academic teaching, but it's more like an exchange between professors that can be researchers or that can be executives in company that would share their own experience.
Yes, Lauren, thank you. Thank you so much for your valuable insights and your valuable time. Thank you for the day.
Thank you very much.
So my next my next question will be to ESAIP. Harsha, we want to know how ESAIP cyber security program is unique compared to other institutions, and how does it prepare students for the successful careers in the cyber security industry?
Yes, cyber security is a multidisciplinary program which is exposed to many fields, starting from banking to environment, starting from pharmaceutical, medical to aeronautics and defense. So at ESAIP, we prepare the students from different backgrounds on the applications of cyber security in different fields. See, for example, if a student is coming from computer science background and if he would like to explore the expertise on banking or fintech modules, we have a module designated to the students to train them on these modules. But if students would like to explore the cybersecurity modules with respect to defense, aeronautical, or drone technology, we have designated modules for these students. So cybersecurity has multiple applications in various fields. So we train the students in the second year as per their academic background and their area of interest.
Okay, thank you, Harsha. My next question is to Omnis. If a student starts with a university in France this year, what major workplace changes can they expect by the time they graduate? If the student starts university in this year in France, what major workplace changes can they expect by the time they graduate?
Okay, thank you. It's pretty vast, and here again I'm inviting you to have a look at sources that are available on very interesting sources like the World Economic Forum that has done the work on the future of work in Europe. They did it in 2020 and they keep on feeding it with more recent elements. And they're looking at the view till 2030, and at the same time there was McKinsey who did a similar view at that time. Clearly, STEM in general, plenty of opportunities in Europe. I gave you the view on France, and you have to understand also that you're not going to have so much of competition if you're going to France as an Indian student versus going to, for instance, Germany, that is mainly welcoming engineers, future engineer students from India in numbers that are becoming quite crazy. The same for what US, Canada, Australia were doing. So in France, we have welcomed 10,000 Indian students last year. A little part of it for the moment are from engineering only. So you don't have a lot of competition. But from a place that is looking at having more and more of Indians, and particularly in AI and data, and I would say cybersecurity, we have a similar view. The first AI summit was co-presided by Narendra Modi and Emmanuel Macron for that reason, is that we believe there is a third way in AI that is more, at the same time more open, but at the same time also more in control. So we don't have our data that belongs to the Americans or the Chinese, but we do have access to it. We have more optimized and therefore more environmental friendly options. The data centers in France, they are the electricity that we produce. We overproduce electricity over there. It is mainly from renewable energies or decarbonized energy because there is nuclear energy otherwise. So we can directly plug baby plug when some others need to drill baby drill to do it, all right? So plenty of opportunities here as well in the renewable energies, clearly, and that's linked to AI again because you cannot rely solely on one source of energy if you're using those kind of. So you do need people who can, help automatize the movement or optimize those electricity circuits. We have also had the COVID that happened, and we realized we cannot no longer have just China as the place where everything is produced for the world, because this is making us very, very much at risk. So we have repatriated a lot of our industries. Very recently, 93 billion euros were announced in France investment, and particularly to build factories that would be robotized, obviously, because we do not have sufficient number of people to work in those factories. So the French government has a plan since 2020 that is backed by the European Union called France 2030 to build, centers where you can key in the hand directly implement your manufacturing plants. So these are examples, and that's why France has been for the past 7 years the first country in Europe, and I'm including UK here, for foreign investments. So plenty of opportunities, as I said, in AI, in data, cybersecurity, because also we are in difficult time. The new thing that we've seen coming is defense. And again here, a lot of AI, embedded AI, robotics, a lot of things, cybersecurity, no, it's not, forget that. So in those kind of sectors, very much. But we will need also, when we build the tools, we will need to start using them, to start implementing them in more regular businesses. And in the past, in the view of, I think was for Ernst & Young, is that 75% of the AI implementation were failing because you didn't have people who were able to be that person who understand the processes, the organization, the jobs that needed to be changed, augmented, I would say, and therefore it was failing. So we need people also who are from the business background, but who understand somehow the technology. So there's quite a lot of things, in fact, huh? Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Maud. So my next question is to Avancity. So what prediction about the future of work do you think will surprise most people in this room?
Honestly, we don't know the problems yet. We don't have the solutions yet. And we don't know what type of jobs are going to emerge by 2030. That is the only prediction available, because it is changing and going to change so rapidly. Things have already started. If you look at LinkedIn, which I keep on following, even job titles are changing. Now, traditional jobs with their nomenclatures are now taken over by something which clearly says that, do you have capacity to handle AI, platform, usability, expertise, and accordingly, not only in engineering, even there are jobs which are now clearly asking, are you a lawyer with expertise in AI? Are you a physiotherapist expertise in AI? This is what is currently happening. So are you a textile engineer knowing about AI, using AI, adapting AI? So this is what is changing drastically. So if someone is ready to adapt and learn new things as far as application of AI, this is the time. So we don't know the problems yet, we don't have the solutions yet, and we don't know the jobs, what type of new jobs are going to emerge, but we will see it all together.
Okay, thank you. So my next question will be to ESAIP. If you had only 1 minute to convince a student to choose France, over any other study destination. So what would you say?
French movies are better than other movies. Just kidding, but yes. So if a student is really looking for an objective study or a real-time experience or real-time industry exposure, then France is the best destination that a student can come and explore to ensure that he gains more and more practical knowledge. So this is how I would like to convince a student.
Thank you, Harsha. So before we move ahead with our panel discussion, we have a very special guest joining us today. So to introduce this exciting innovation, I would now like to invite Maud, a representative from Omnis Education.
I am not the special guest. Milo is the special guest. Milo is the first AI student in the world. And the reason I brought him here, it's not me, I mean, in fact, it's the Dean of EC Engineering School that brought him during the AI Summit where we participated. It was, you know, roaming around the beautiful conferences that we had there. The reason I brought him is because this is an example of what experiential learning can be. This is a project fully done by our students. And maybe it sounds a little bit silly, just like as it is. They design, of course, the nice tool, but it's what is inside. I won't be able to make a presentation here, but we have a video to show you. It's powered by a small language models that was designed by our students, and I was ranked first in the world in that category last summer on Hugging Face. So let's have a look at what it means.
At WAZO, we believe in proof, not promises. That's why when French engineering school ECE came to us with a clear goal, ECE is one of the best places to learn and practice AI. How can we prove it? We embraced the challenge. We sat with students and teachers, we drove the process and brainstormed over the best possible application of AI in the school's context. Met again, fine-tuned the idea, then, backed by their teachers, students designed a homegrown SLM, small language model, ethical, minimal, frugal, until it got ready for on-site deployment. And that's how Milo was born, the first AI student ever enrolled in a major engineering school. Milo is not a mascot, not a gimmick, but a real physical educational presence, a useful idea brought to life. Much more than an AI chatbot, Milo attends classes, learns and shares. On the student side, Milo supports and trains, helps with planning and organisation, asks the right questions and stands guard against cognitive overload. Milo also gathers real-time insights about how students are grasping the material, providing valuable feedback for teachers to adapt as needed. Its interface is smooth, fresh and timeless, the result of a close collaboration between art directors and creative coders. ECE's robotics students from the Borg Club even gave Milo a body over the summer. Not bad looking, right? All year long, Milo will keep evolving. Students and teachers will test and experiment with new features. Want to meet him?
I can handle the intro, thanks. Hi there, I'm Milo. Sick day? Missed a class? I'm here to help you get back on track. Want to dive deeper into a subject? Should I challenge you? I know where things usually get tricky, so I anticipate. I'm also up for fun. Students club, parties? No worries. I'll tell you all about it. Off the record.
Hey, did you go to Mr. Roche's class? Can you give me a quick summary?
Hey Laura, of course. Want to revise for Tuesday's math quiz too?
You wouldn't happen to have the answers, would you?
I'm not here to help you cheat, just to help you learn. Did you think I was an American AI?
In 2025, ECE becomes the first school to welcome an AI among its engineering students. Because a speech wasn't enough to stand out, it took a useful idea.
And this is really a student. He started studying mathematics in class with our bachelor student first year last September. And it's an experiment, so it is not perfect. That's why I was not able to make a live presentation. But the aim is to, AI requires a lot of maths, is to help, improve our capacity to teach maths to a large pool of people. And we've been looking at ways to implement and participate, collaborate with schools here in India to develop, further this option and use it as a way for a group of students from around the world to also collaborate on concrete case. And I think that's a good example of what the type of studies could be in ECE engineering school in France, the experiential.
Thank you, Maud.
Thank
It's
you.
really interesting. So with this, we are coming to an end with the panel discussion. It has been a pleasure moderating this discussion. I now hand over the session to the host who will guide us to the next today's program.
Thank you, Ms. Sarika. And I especially thank all the panelists for answering each and every while they're stepping into their process before submitting their application itself. So thank you for all the panelists for sharing this information. I'm sure the discussion has provided everyone with much a clear understanding of the opportunities available in France, particularly in the fields of AI, technology, business, engineering and innovation. We will now open the floor for an interactive Q&A session. Students, parents and other associates, you are invited to ask your questions directly to our university representatives and industry experts. This is a wonderful opportunity to gain first-hand insights and clarify your questions you may have regarding studying, living and building a career in France. We may now begin the Q&A session. Our team has the mics over there, so you can have them before you ask a question so that the questions are audible to everyone in the room. Thank you.
Hello, so my name is Akanksha. So based on what I've seen, most of the Indian students and employees, they contribute a lot in multiple countries, but they still face backlash. So what is the guarantee or assurance for safety in France or in Europe?
You mean to say, okay, violence, you mean, that's what you mean? So France, I would try to say for my country at least, France is a very multicultural country. We welcome 4.35 lakh international students every year. And I mean, I've been in public schools myself in France, and for me it's normal to be in a class where I was about to say the 50 shades of skin you can find in the class, it's normal. So first of all, if you're dressed in a way the French are, nobody knows that you're not French. That's the first thing. That should give you a clue. Stupid people, they exist everywhere. That's also a fact. But I think comparatively, this is a place that you will feel very welcome. I mean, all the testimony we get from our students are telling us that. But if you're going to Paris, you're going to a big city. If you've never been faced to that, you just have to act, towards this kind of environment. You need to understand what are the way the people like to be approached. We are much more direct than the Asians in general in Europe. So sometimes what you will find something, you have the impression that people are rude to you, they're just direct. There's just a different way of communicating. You need to learn how to navigate that. Which is why I think, what you were saying, trying to learn French, at least the basics, starting with French, understanding that for French people, the key words of politeness, they matter, even though for you, the way the grammar you would be using in the way you speak is implying the respect. Over there, you need to use those words. It's very important. If you don't, you're not going to have a very warm welcome, but that's not linked to your, the color of your skin. It is just the manners that are over there that you need to learn about. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello there, my name is Rashid and I have a question for you. Most of the panel is professional in cybersecurity and I have known that Mythos is there in the AI field. Don't you feel threatened by those AI and those? Because I feel.
Ask your question once again, I didn't get it.
Are we feeling threatened by AI? And especially when in marketing, there was someone who was saying that. I mean, do you feel threatened by in your marketing role yourself by AI? Do you feel like threatened?
My question is, do you feel threatened by the AI? Because the last time Cloud have released an AI called Mythos, which have escaped containment. And it's a very big thing for AI. It hacked into anything. It can hack anything.
See, again, AI need to be properly integrated with cybersecurity applications. So that is the reason my colleague Amod has been trying to tell us how to efficiently use AI purposefully. So Amod, can you please put a light on this proper integration of AI in cybersecurity?
Yeah, there are, one is human aspect and second one is technology aspect. First is AI itself is not new. It got created many years back. It just came into public discussion, public domain of late 2 years back. When it comes to security, particularly cyber security, which is virtual one. In cyber security, there are two aspects. One is data and second one is engineering. These two aspects put together, you can control cyber security, that is virtual security offered not necessarily only through biometrics, but crossing all the industries, because every industry needs security. Now the point that you are raising is the element of Mythos, which has been released and which can crack everything as you fear, do we fear. As an institution, we don't, because we know we are capable of educating students to encounter that which currently has apparently become fear, because everything that AI is currently doing can be managed by people who are ethical, and that is where the ethical practices of handling AI is what everyone has to promote. And you can look at what governments are talking. Forget about this particular aspect that is coming in Mythos. Security reasons are there to be protected as far as you go back to human history. Nothing has threatened humanity where everyone will become paralyzed. It is not going to definitely happen. So everything is under control right now, and the fear of AI going over the top and doing something extremely destructive is more of a myth, because at the end of the day, AI cannot crack human intelligence, and we can definitely control. Only thing is that it is going to be a war between evil and God. Whether you want to have ethical hacker or you want to have a hacker with the same educational qualification is what humanity needs to nurture among the population across the globe. So don't worry about that. We are not threatened. Nothing is going to happen. And some incidences like pickpocketing happens everywhere globally. Have you ever been able to stop pickpocketing? Despite of many things, nothing will happen. You can stop it only through detection by a camera, and then you can later on catch that thief. But while he is picking your pocket, can you stop him? No. So nothing can be, should be worried about. Don't worry.
When it comes to ethical hacking, AI is more preferred than human ethical hacking. What do you say, Amod?
Absolutely, yes.
I would say on top of that, I mean, this will only reinforce the need for countries to be working with people they can trust. And I think, India and France are doing that, and have in the process taken over about 88 people, 88 countries, who will be, focusing on building their own solutions so that they do not be, they cannot be threatened as much by this kind of ridiculous solutions that just.
And top of that, what is your name? Can you stand up, please? What is your name?
My name is Rashid.
Rashid. Oh, how old are you?
I'm 17 right now.
So at this 17 years of your age, when you come to know that this is threat, Are you going to just sit there and face that threat, or are you going to work on it to protect the world?
I will protect it.
Yes, so you have a solution.
I request a round of applause for this question, please. Thank you, Mr. Ramod and Mr. Harshavardhan, for clearing out the clouds on how AI is threatening the world and how it can be controlled by the young minds who are there. And I thank you, Maud, also for mentioning how to learn the French language and how it could be useful, the basic French language. I don't think it would be a problem for our academy students because they are learning the basic French language before they apply for the universities and land in France. And I guess there is one more question on the right side of me. Please raise your hand. Yeah.
Hello, myself Mohammad Ahmed. So I want to ask one question to panel team. How many years like the AI will be there? Is there any more disruption, or if we come to AI learning, if we are very eager to learn AI technology, cloud computing, so we want to see the future. How many years of AI will be continue?
So here, I mean, we cannot really answer that completely. What it brings to the table is that, I mean, anyway, the life would be, what you learn would be valid for 2 years. But what you need to be focusing on is learning to learn, being able to, adapt to whatever will come in the future, because you will have to learn all your life given what is coming around. So this, I think AI is allowing us to create ways of teaching that nurture this kind of skills. That's what would be my answer.
Yeah, AI would definitely be for many years ahead, but there would be a lot of transformation. So earlier we were using a Nokia mobile, and we thought that it is one of the greatest invention. But now we are into iOS, I think it is around 16 or 17. So we are able to still use the phone for basic needs, but there are a lot of additional features and additional amenities that we are enjoying. In the same way, AI would definitely be for many years, but it would definitely transform, and obviously it would be, hopefully it should be for human convenience and human, you can call it as a benefit. Amod, you want to add something?
That is perfectly fine. AI is going to stay here for at least next 5 generations. How it will shape up, no one can predict. Same is like space technology. Now we are talking about going to moon, someone is talking about going to sun, and what Elon Musk is thinking, no one even knows. So this is going to keep on happening. Nothing is going to stop you and me. Just have an opportunity here. Sense the opportunity. Create your career, make money, live happily. That's the only thing I can suggest.
I can just add something on this. Yes, there is something that can limit AI, is a capacity to, I mean, the amount of energy and resources that needs to be implemented into it. So if anything, looking at, working on the next solution to produce energy that is not going to destroy our planet in order to feed whatever is coming here, or to make sure that we try to solve real problems instead of just playing with technology is what we can expect to see in the future. Because physically at some point we're going to be blocked, all of us.
But one more final words that I would like to just let you know. But if your question was only about AI, that's fine. But if your question was about opportunities on AI, then you need to keep yourself updated on a day-to-day basis. Okay?
Thank you, panel members, for the perfect and a detailed answer on how AI limits the people and how we can explore that one. And I think we have one more question over there.
Hi, good evening. Hello. Hi, good evening. Will you stable choose AI?
Can you be a bit louder?
Will you choose a stable career or a high-risk startup? Will you choose a stable career or a high-risk career in AI and startup? Why?
I guess the question is little similar to high-risk careers. It's not audible. If you don't mind, would you please speak a bit louder?
Will you choose a stable career or a high-risk startup in AI?
So would you suggest?
Yeah, okay. So you mean do a student have a stable career if he choose AI as his masters or any module, right?
Yes, yes, right.
Amod, you would be the best person to answer this. What are the career opportunities with AI? Is it a stable one or not?
Is it working? Yeah. If it's a band master, you have to look at the content of it and the pedagogy that is used, because this is what's going to be key. It's not just about learning Python. You go on any, don't want to give name, but EdTech solution, you have it, but that's not sufficient. It's, the methodology to think on problems and the possibility to apply. If you do that, this is something that's going to last a whole career. I have no doubt about that. And on top of that, helps you enter the employment market straight on, because you would have worked on whatever is useful now. But this is what you need to focus on. If I'm thinking of cybersecurity, I was pretty shocked to see a student who had done a master in cybersecurity in the US, and at the end, the content of the course over there, he had to do a new one because he really wanted to work in cybersecurity. The content of it was just about ethics of cybersecurity. He didn't learn anything. So you have to be looking at what is happening in the course, what's the content, what they are preparing you for really, and not just fall for the name of a school or the, whatever. You have to look into this. This matters.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Maud. Are there any other questions? I think we have one more here. Yes.
Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Deva. So my question to you is, what are the tech opportunities that France offers when compared to the US giant companies such as Microsoft and Google?
Yeah, thank you for a very, very interesting and important question. Microsoft and Google started in US, but they're not confined to US only now. Microsoft has major presence as far as employability in India. Same is with Google. So these were conceptual ideas which then become global businesses, isn't it? And France is exactly at that stage where you as an Indian student come to France and have your not Google, maybe Sugal, and then make it worldwide as a big company. And that is where France is currently, inviting Indian students to come over and explore the opportunities to create global companies, rather than thinking of global companies already there for last 30, 35 years, and what role you are going to play in that. So what new role you are going to play in Microsoft or Google? Do you have any idea? Rather than utilize your new education, utilize your thinking abilities, and create something can challenge to Google or Microsoft. That is where the opportunity for Indian students stands if they come to France. Because France is not only inviting you for education. As I said, as far as all of us are concerned sitting here, our institutions are inviting you to come with some idea and project where we will be able to help you to create a business deck, pitch it for global investment, and make a big company out of it, rather than just looking to have a job in Google or job in Microsoft. Those days are gone. So don't worry about it. Think about how AI is going to make you wealthy, right? So this is where your opportunity stands, and France is there to support you all your way, for sure.
I'd like to add something, because sometimes the question is also about the conditions, in terms of salary and things like that. And I guess this is also part of the question, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I was sure. You tend to see, I don't know, on Instagram, I get those people who are doing, in the street, oh, how much do you earn? And they get crazy numbers. The cost of living in the US has nothing to do with the cost of living in Europe, so you cannot expect the same kind of salaries, but there is also so much more of extra thing you get over there. But you could compare it to India as well. When you have people who sometimes call you cockroaches here, I've heard that, I mean crazy, or think that it would be normal that you work 100 hours per week. In France, the rule is 35 hours per week. We believe that you need to have a life on the side. We believe in work-life balance. And that's something you should, also find value in. And if you don't want to be working so little and be a salaried person, maybe you own a job, your own boss. It's very easy to be an entrepreneur over there. But you get so much more security in a way. The education of your kids, if you decide to go there, it's free of cost. The health is free of cost. What happens if you lose your job in the US? Yeah? We know what happens. Terrible. You have no security. I have, in fact, a family member, a French guy who went to North America. He is a physicist, a nuclear physicist. It took him 20 years to get 2 weeks of paid holidays per year so he could visit his family again. 20 years to get there. 5 weeks of paid holidays a week minimum in France. This is what I'm talking about. Quality of life matters. Opportunities, clearly there are plenty. And they are, because we are small countries, we have to have an international view on things. We do, the people who have careers, they will have careers that would go beyond just France. So you'll have that international exposure. In the US, you're likely to stay and be stuck in Seattle or whatever place you'll be. These are elements that you need to take into consideration. And country to country in Europe, cost of living might be different and the salaries might be different as well. But they are more than sufficient for you to cover for the cost of the studies in the first year itself. ECE Engineering School, we got the recent employment survey. I explained before that we don't place students. So they find their job on their own. 98% of them had a job in 2 months of graduation. And the average salary was 48,000 euros. 2 years, that's not even what is gonna be, you're going to be paying for 2 years of studies. So in 1 year, you can cover it. Good luck to cover what you've done in the US. All right? So these are things that you need to consider, and do not compare apples with pears, because that's what you do if you do that. You can have a great career in Google or Microsoft in France as well. They are very much there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maud, for adding additional insights regarding the quality of life, which is more important than the salaries and the pay scale. Are there any questions from our audience? Yeah, there is one more question here.
Hello. Hello, good evening, panel. You said that the AI integration courses were not only limited to this engineering or other thing, but you also informed that it will be applicable to other graduates, BCom or arts or all. Is there any opportunities for graduates who have finished other than engineering, like BCom related or finance or arts related graduates, for learning AI course and to migrate there and getting opportunities and settle over there?
I might give we have two answers, I think, here on this. So the kind of AI course you will be going to, if you're not coming from engineering school, will be different than for an engineer. You have to be aware. I mean, if you are coming from BCom, you're unlikely to become a data engineer or to have a career in that. But they are the transformation that AI can bring to a specific function that you have put a foot on when you were doing your BCom or your physics or whatever. This an engineer cannot take really. You can have the mix of both, but the content will be adapted to your profile. You're not going to be the person who built the whole architecture, let's say. You're going to be someone who knows some of the technology and is able to apply it to real cases. That's what I would say. What's your answer?
See, specifically discussing your case, you are coming from BCom background, am I right?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. So if you are coming from BCom background or any other background, say for example business background, I explained to audiences little bit earlier that you can still make a career by becoming expert user of AI tools. And I gave you an example of Excel. So you don't necessarily have to be an engineer. There is a lot of misinformation in India about how to make a career in AI, and general perception is if I am not a computer science or IT guy, I cannot make any career in AI or AI is threatening me. On the contrary, students coming from, say for example, I have shortlisted couple of courses which I keep talking to everyone. BSc Mathematics, BSc Statistics, BSc Economics, BBA Business Analytics, BCom CA. These 5 to 6 qualifications I think are the most potential qualifications to get into data management. But who is going to explain this to Indian students? There is no official, what you can say, communication or information center available which can tell Indian students coming from these backgrounds how to make your career becoming an expert AI user or expert platform user created by AI technology. If we can solve this miscommunication, I think Indian students would be benefiting the most out of this given opportunity, including the courses that I have currently shortlisted, along with typical BTech Computer Science, BE IT, even BE Mechanical, BE Civil Engineering, BE Chemical. If they wish to shift to something related to career in AI, I always tell them not to go into the MBA data analytics, because that is where they're limiting their opportunity. They should get into data management. So coming from this background, BCom CA or even normal BCom candidate coming into data management will create opportunities for a global career. Only thing is that since that information is not available within your peer groups and within your social environment, you don't know. So that is what is exactly happening in India. There is more opportunity or need to create awareness about how to make your career in AI rather than taking AI as a threat.
I will just explain you in a simple way in a statement. Like for example, if you are coming from a commerce background,
yes, sir.
and you would like to explore a master's program in AI, but you don't know where to utilize this skill.
No, sir. My question is, if I would like to explore AI in my related field, so that that boost my career opportunities.
What is your related field?
Like finance related field.
Okay, very good, very good. If you are from a finance, so
Yeah.
if you master this AI program, then you can definitely work in a banking sector to identify financial frauds with the help of AI technology.
Okay.
Okay.
You can be an analyst as well, financial analyst. You have plenty of roles.
Yeah,
in
that's
finance.
what.
If
You can
there is
also
one
become.
sector
You
where-
can also become a financial analyst to analyze the data with AI integration.
Yeah. And that doesn't require to go to a course that is just on AI. There are plenty in France. We have so many finance courses, and some of them would have a lot of AI in there. They are particularly specialized. So look at the content, of course, and make sure that it is matching what you really want to do at the end. Those are just a mean to an end. Those masters. The end is the career that you are looking to build for yourself based on what you've done in the past. So that's what you need to do.
For example, if you are coming from a BBA or a commerce background, you can still work on consumer behavior using AI integration. Okay, so you can just look into the applications of AI related to your field, and then just focus on your career.
Okay. Is there any opportunities with this integration of these two stems like finance and AI related in France?
In
further?
INSEC we have it, in ESC as well, so yes, and in many business schools you will find it. I would suggest to go for business school if it's finance you want, because in engineering schools, in EC we have a finance quantitative master that is required to be an engineer to be in that, because it goes very far in terms of the content. But maybe some other school would have something much less, pushed in that manner, and that are focusing very much on building on finance, but bringing all the tools that you need to do to be in that kind of career later, and where it's very important to be very strong in finance first, understanding what's the purpose of the job and what is expected from you, and then AI is a tool for it. It's augmenting you. So if the course has that inside the, and you can ask, you need to ask those questions. But there are a lot of courses that will be updated this way in France, in our schools, or past schools, because I know used to
But
be.
did you ask the opportunities in the industry or in the schools?
In the industry, with
yes.
integration of these two stems.
In all the industries in France, say starting from banking to aeronautics, you have the application of AI, like how Professor Maud exemplified one of the students. He started developing a drone technology using AI integration. So you can apply AI in many fields.
Okay. Thank you for your valuable answer.
Thank you, Mr. Harshavardhan and Ms. Maud. So, any other questions? Yeah, we have one over there.
Good evening.
Can we have an alternate mic over there?
Good evening to the panel, and my question is, does the university guide children for the placements for bachelors and internships in the vacation period?
Answer in a better way.
So placement will never happen like in India. Okay, not that it's bad here, it's just a very different environment, a very different employment market. In France, as I explained before, companies have been used to welcome students as early as the first year of bachelor and to offer internships that are adapted to the different levels. So that is, the offer is there, it exists. But they expect the students to be able to, on their own, promote themselves. And so you have to accept that it's going to be part of the journey to learn to do it on your own. You're not alone to do that, of course. So don't expect the school to put you directly at the interview stage with companies. This is not going to happen. In most of the bachelor, first and second year, you have time for internship if you want to do, but it is not mandatory. It's generally mandatory in the last year for 6 months. So you will anywhere have 6 months, but you can have up to a year in 3 years of bachelor. That's depending on you. The way we help students, generally, I'm not talking about school specifics here, we would have conferences with companies. So generally, the first week of your integration, companies will come, and they would eventually, propose you a case, which is a way for you to get into the new environment. That's true for engineering, that's true for business. For me, it was, I used to be a student like you, it was Ubisoft that came and asked us to propose them the next new video games that we should, propose them. And so the whole point was to meet with new classmates this way by directly getting into the field and present it in front of a company. That company, they're not going to recruit you, tomorrow, but they still invest this time to do what that is called employment branding. In France, we have a company called My Job Glasses. The business model is companies paying for their operational people to chat with whoever student wants to chat with them, because that's their way of promoting themselves as a potential employer and some of their roles that they have trouble to make understand or make attractive to students. This, you don't see that here. Over there you see this. So you see it's a very different environment. You have to adapt. The school will provide a lot of tools for you to use, not mandatory. A lot of them would not be mandatory. Please use them from day one because they are so important. If you want to be able to find that internship, you will have to invest time in, working on your own career prospects, being curious, learning about how companies like to be approached, and you will be successful. The opportunities, there are plenty.
And one more question. What about the security and protection for the students for studying there?
We are in AI Summit or AI Forum. You're asking about a personal security or data security?
I think it's personal security.
No, I'm just asking the student. I know that.
I think that's... so I answered on the aspect of racism in a way. I mean, we already covered that. But for bachelor students, something you need to know, and your parents need to know, is that when you come to France, you do not go to campuses that are far away from the world where everything is organized for you. Forget about having them making sure that you come at the hostel at 6:30 and not getting out. This is not France. So the students that are coming, and this is what we do in Omnes, when we see young students, very good that you ask your own questions. I really can say that already you are marking well on the autonomy aspect, the maturity, because you will have to be mature there. Even if you're 17-year-old and you come to France, you will be treated as an adult, and that means you live in an apartment that is, outside of the campus, safe, because we have very strong law on the standards that housing should be. All right, but yes, you'll have to do your own cooking, especially if you're on a budget. It's better that you cook for yourself. Generally, girls are pretty good at that. Boys sometimes a bit less. And I take my share because I have a boy and I have to train him, just on that aspect. You have to take care of your own laundry, you have to take care of all this. And nobody is going to be there to, of course your attendance will be checked, but, it's on you. You're an adult and you are treated as such. Not every 18-year-old is ready for this. The parents need to know their kids and need to decide whether they are ready now or not. That's what matters. Of course, you will be getting support. You will have, a lot of help in the school. But the French students, they're very much, they are adamant to get out of the way of their parents and to have their own life. And this is the culture over there.
What is the minimum SAT score required for?
No SAT score. This is an American thing. We don't have those kind of tests. You don't even need an English test for France. As the French president who said that during the AI summit again. You do not need neither French or an English test to come to France if you've done all your studies in English media and you got a decent grade in English. You will have interviews with schools. You will have interview with Campus France, which is the government body for that will be part of the visa process. So we'll verify that you have the skills, but none of those tests are required for most of the schools.
So the scholarship will be given by our academic,
by an holistic review of your file. I would say for most of the school, I think that's the case. Academic is one thing, but as I told you here, there is academics. Of course, you need to be decently good, because that's a good way for us to verify that in a different environment, you're going to be successful there. But you need to be someone who also likes to get out of your shell, because a lot of what those schools have to offer is the non-mandatory activities as well. Student association, I could name so many. There are crazy things. This kind of things, they didn't do it in class. There was a project outside. So we need students that already have passion and have been, going outside of their comfort zone and try to do things on their own, and the maturity. All this is covered.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maud, for differentiating between the US education system and the others. And thank you, Miss, I didn't get your name, who asked the question. But I surely know that our team will help you out with all the requirements, SAT scores and the English scores that are needed for the institutions, apart from the French and in other countries as well. But for now, I guess you have cleared out all your doubts. And if there are any more, we are happy to take your questions. And if there is one more question in the back.
My question is, you all guys talked about AI opportunities and AI jobs, right? But every big tech company and every enterprise company is regretting their decision. Like the token costs and the budget, AI budget, they are burning every year. And especially in software industry, like whatever the code you write with AI, the AI slop code, you can't maintain it because no one knows what they have written. Like if they want to change it, or software industry doesn't work like that. Like we can't write a code that anybody knows, and we need a model. Again, those billions of tokens, those trillions of tokens, again costing. Like Google just burned up their 1 year of token AI budget in just 3 months, and Oracle is rehiring 30,000 people from India, like especially in IITs. So what do you say about that? everyone is regretting their AI decision, especially in enterprise tech.
Well, that's exactly what I was saying. Like a lot of AI transformation that have failed because there were a lack of, real analysis before of the real need and how to address it. And maybe a solution that was less expensive, that we took more time to implement, would have been better and more sustainable. What France and India are working on are small language models. I'm pretty sure you could say more about that than me, I guess. That's very much as far as I can go. But the whole idea is to, if you go to Europe in general, France in particular, this is an environment where we believe in, this has to serve humanity. So we look first at the need, and then we try to propose a solution. We still are the third capital of deep tech in France. And I'm saying that, and you might think, okay, nothing crazy and disruptive will happen in France. I'm sorry, it is happening, and it's not me saying. We are the third capital. Paris is the third capital in the world for deep tech. Deep tech being disruptive innovation. So a lot is happening there, but it's coming from first, what is the need that we're trying to serve? And from there, what are the resources we have? Can we do it? And then we invent the solution. It's different from telling, okay, let's drill as much as we can and build, and have a large language model that are using as much of resources as can be for a little ROI at the end. And that is for sure something that's not gonna work. That makes me think that part of what we do in ECE engineering school is to bring the small and medium companies that do not invest, that do not have the means to invest in AI in a big way. So we tell them, hey, come to our campus. Our students can reverse mentor you. We have done that, and we are doing that next week with 100 companies that would come on our campus. And it's our students that would start working on solutions that are optimized for the need of those companies that do not have so much of means. Imagine, it's a great way to learn, no? And that answers your question in a way.
Yeah.
I would also like to share here that how there is innovative pedagogy to handle this type of a situation. Now, when it comes to Avancity, we have designed and have a global IP already acquired on a concept called AI Clinic. Now, what happens in that AI Clinic is what Maud was trying to explain. Every week there is a new company coming to the campus, either looking for suggestions on conversion to AI technologies, or they have a live project already on the floor where they would like to open it for the students to come and have first brainstorming and then talk to companies to maybe possibly find out internships. And this is happening every week. We have companies lined up who are coming with two requests essentially. One is, how do we handle AI? And second one is, we have a project live on the floor, and can your students come and help us? So this is the way through which, coming to your question of Google burning money and all that, it will be loud. Companies now shifting from IT to AI. They have no choice but to invest and get onto the top platform, because if they don't do that now, eventually they are going to face some sort of challenge definitely. And Google's shareholders are not complaining yet. Whatever you have read as Google burning money is whatever you are reading on the newspaper or different platforms. But because of that, have you seen Google's share price going down, and their stakeholders and shareholders creating a massive agitation in their AGM that why are you burning money in AI technologies? No, it is not happening like that. It is what is perceived, but which is essential devil. Everyone has to go through that.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Maud and Mr. Amod, for giving the deep insights on this topic, so which is a new question, I guess. So do we have any additional questions from the audience? Yeah, we have one question here in the front.
Hi, this is Mani here. First of all, I would like to thank Texas Review to giving this wonderful opportunity to interact with you guys. So myself, I am almost 14 years of experience industry professional. I worked almost 14 years in retail domain, so probably I'm just looking for some mature questions as well, but might be it would be helpful for the others as well. So more of like my question is related to, since you guys would be interacting with most of the industry professionals, so in retail domain, what would be the AI scope? I just want to understand, because whatever the current clients I have worked on, they're still trying to break their heads to how to integrate AI within the retail space, because since retail is something like a kind of just a box process altogether, it's kind of browsing your products, placing the orders, getting delivered. More of like, I just simply summarize, but technically indeed there is some process involved, but it's kind of a scope. It's been scoped, but I just want to understand since you guys will be interacting with the professionals, I just want to understand what is the other professionals are looking how to integrate AI with a retail space perspective. That's an industry-based question. And this next question, personally, from a matured professional wise who wants to explore options in France wise. Since I'm 14 years of industry, matured professional, I want to explore the other opportunity, because in the current space, I'm comfortable, I'm good enough, but I think that my potential is more than that. So I just want to explore more options in France perspective. So just my question is, like, from a matured professional perspective, what is so I just want to know what is France offering from a matured
First, I would like to answer your basic question, like where exactly can AI be integrated in the retail, right? That was your question. See, what exactly is the major difference between AI and artificial intelligence and human intelligence? See, AI is based on algorithms, whereas human intelligence is based on, obviously, emotions. So wherever you need to have a shrewd accounting, or wherever you need to have a shrewd non-emotional accounting, there can AI be integrated in any retail aspect, irrespective of the domain of the business. But when it comes to you call it as emotional attachments or emotional things, so obviously there AI cannot be integrated. Maud, can you please add?
Thank you, and thank you very well introduced it. I came from Procter & Gamble, so we had, it was our job to make sure that people would buy our products when they were on the shelves and things like that. So we had, talking about 20 years ago now, we had our own supermarket, and we were trying things, and we were observing what people were doing, how they would react. Imagine with an AI system, you could, like for instance, Gisedoco is doing when they are in, they have those big billboards in the airport of Bangalore, for instance. They have for 10 years, they will have those billboards. Those billboards, it's not the publicity, it's not a renting place that they are selling. What they're selling is they capture the number of people that are passing through, and how much of impact that ad they can bring to both the airports and to the brands that are choosing to do an ad over there. So they're bringing that element. I can see how much it would impact. The retail right now is very much in competition with e-commerce. So the main problem for all those companies is to bring the people back physically into the shops with something different, the emotion, in fact, something else. How would you do that? And AI can help you identify what works, what doesn't work, by capturing this and showing patterns. This is what they would be using it for. They are also working on consumer behavior in the long run. I would say the luxury brands, for instance, when they are in fashion, when they are deciding what would be the color of next year, they base it on a set of data that they capture. So here again, AI, data management is there very much. We always had people who were statisticians sociologist in Procter & Gamble for that purpose. Today, a sociologist without AI or data management skills, I think, is not going to do the best of the job, I would say. It is something that is very much complementary and that really helps. So these are just two elements, I would say. And there would be many more, of course. Now, for someone who is from the creative sector, would like to implement AI within, I don't know if you want help. Just there are plenty of things you can do. I'm one of those people who started receiving, when you crossing the 40, you start getting those ads telling you you're 40 and you're using AI as just a Google search. Yeah, I mean, that was a bit the case at the beginning. Well, I learned and I'm using it, as much. And you learn step by step, and you need to see yourself what is missing maybe in your current profile, and look at what AI can do and see, I mean, whether it would be interesting to add one aspect or another. You don't need to become a pure data analyst, just to identify what are the tools that could be useful for you. If it's creative on the digital aspect, I mean, there are plenty of tools that are, looking at how people behave on websites, for instance, and how much of time they stay in front of a picture, and therefore what kind of creative you should be putting, what kind of content you should be putting. There's plenty that can be done here. But I mean, it's part of what I would say. And then after, I mean, everything that could be physically adapted. I mean, the IoT as well could be something of interest, because there would be a part of physicality in there, capturing information from whatever happens. Yeah, why not? But yeah.
In a simple way, like AI calling in retail is a very perfect example. So you can integrate a telecaller with artificial intelligence to handle the calls in any retail business. It doesn't require any emotion, or even it doesn't get annoyed, or it doesn't take any anxiety when the end caller scolds or end caller receives her in a different way.
To build on that, something that our bachelor students have done we have both a business and a creative bachelor, French one though, for the creative one. They have introduced a competition of a short movie that will be fully done on AI. So the whole point is for the students to learn how to prompt efficiently to produce something that quickly, but of artistic quality. So maybe that's where you should go as well. Depends on what you're trying to, the kind of career you see for yourself in the future, and what you want to concentrate on.
Yeah, that's insightful, thanks. My next question is related to what is France offering for mature professionals who want to migrate? I mean, technically I'm looking from a study angle perspective, because I want to even upgrade myself with the current industry standards as well. So can you please just let me know what would be the France offering for mature professionals who want to move in?
Are you looking directly for a job opportunity?
No, I'm just looking for upgradation myself with AI technologies as well. So that's my first preference. I mean, technically, secondary option is just looking at a direct job opportunity. But my first preference, because since I'm just a bachelor's, I want to upgrade myself from education perspective as well. So if that is the case, then
Yeah, I got your question. As far as Ivancity is concerned, we have 2 full-fledged online qualifications available for offshore students who don't want to leave the country and migrate to France for offline. So if you're interested, I can pass it on to Texas. You can have a look, and then let me know if you're interested. I will take the things forward. You might be having online courses as well.
But you don't need to, I mean, if you're less than 40-year-old, though there is no official limit in terms of which student can go. I had last year someone who was 40, I had 1 year 47, but of course there were people who were really going the transformation in terms of career, had a very strong project, I would say, career project. They chose a program that was very, very complementary to what they were doing. You have to understand that it's going to be much easier if you spend at least a year in France and you have the facility of a post-study stay visa to allow you to explore. So a master degree in France would be what I would advise. Your experience allows you to not necessarily do the 2 years of a master. You could go for the fast track, depending on the course. For instance, if you go from purely creative to an AI, probably not, except it's an AI that is specialized, that has been made for people of your kind. So really, you need to look at who it is meant for, according to that. So it could be for 12 months, for 15 months, and still getting you the 2 years post-study stay visa, and that would really, help you make that transition much more easily than doing it from here. But that doesn't mean it's not possible from here. It's also possible. But if I was to do that with the experience you have to have a real concrete idea of what you want to achieve. It has to be a very strong story that you built, and don't go for something too general. Well, I guess that's not the case. And be choosy on the content of the program so that it's making a lot of sense and that you are spending this time and effort in yourself worthwhile. But there are plenty of opportunities for people. I mean, if we're talking about marketing in general, I really think both of us, we don't have, I mean, all of us have a career in marketing, even though AI is there. For someone who can bring the business in, absolutely no issue. You will always have a job everywhere in the world. And you can be you can use those 2 years of post-study stay visa to build your company. And if you are, achieving a level where you can self-sponsor your own work permit, I have students who have done that in marketing, in fact, you can stay. So, I mean, there are many ways of looking at it, and that could be working for a company, working for yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I want to explore the option as well. But thanks.
Thank you, panel, for end-to-end explanation for Mr. Mani's question. Do we have any additional questions? I guess we have a question from our head of admissions, Mr. Suresh.
Okay, my question is to Harsha because you are from Hyderabad. So I have one question for you. And this question, the reason why I am asking you is just I want to know, from the student point of view or the parents' point of view. So just want to know, as you know, especially for the parents or the students, if they are looking for abroad education, by default, US will be their first priority. So I just want to know a few things from you. Are there any benefits which the student can access only from France and not that easily he can access it from either US or UK or some other destination?
Of course, this question is relevant to students from any city throughout India. But yes, when it comes to Hyderabad, yes, all the parents, even the students, always consider the America or the United States of America as their first destination. There might be many reasons for that. But when it comes to France, first the student need to check. See, at the end of the day, any student aspires to go to France or any other country to definitely get succeeded in their professional life. So, whenever a student is planning to study in France, I always suggest them to just check how many French companies are operating back in India. So when you Google, I think there are more than 150 companies which are operating in India, right? 1,000, sorry, my bad.
1,000, 4.5 lakh jobs created in India.
So more than 1,000 French companies are operating in India, which are ready to offer more than 4 lakhs jobs. And the number of Indian students reaching France and every year is somewhere around 10,000 to 30,000. So in that, you hardly 50% of the students would like to come back to India. So that accounts only 10,000 to 15,000. So when the student approaches any French company back in India with his graduation from France, he or she has more and more probability of getting a job in a French company back in India. As one of my colleagues told, there is so this is one aspect where France stands ahead compared to many other competitive countries. So many other countries doesn't have this facilitation. So this is one opportunity the student can look at. Next, when a student chooses France as their higher education destination, they always get an opportunity to study French language to certain level. Having French language on their resume is always beneficial because French is one of the most spoken languages in the world, and student can benefit from an additional qualification when compared to the students from Anglophonic destinations. So one more additional benefit the student can gain from French universities or a study in France is that they have an alumni visa provision where student can apply for an alumni visa throughout his lifetime to his family members. With this alumni visa, he is always open to explore his professional opportunities back in France for 5 years. So the student can take the opportunity any time whenever he is convenient. So all these options or all these benefits makes France as one of the preferred destination, and my colleague Maud would add a few more points.
Just maybe to build on this one, this 5 years alumni visa, I just want to clarify, it's not a work permit. It is allowing you not only to go to France, but to access the whole Schengen zone for 5 years, for 90 days in a row, as many times as you want. If you have, for instance, a business that you are starting, or you have a family business, you would like to help it grow with the European clients, and that makes it so easy. You go back and forth as much as you want. And you access the second biggest economy in the world that happens to just have signed an MOU of, how do you call that, the mother of all deals. Yeah, that's with the European Union. This is what has happened, what is happening, thanks Mr. Trump, by the way, because we were trying to do that for many years, but somehow, because America is so big and maybe has come so early to India versus us. Well, they were bragging much more than we did. You never noticed us, but now you should be. And you're not going to have so much of competition because there are only going to be currently 10,000 Indian students. We want to go to 30,000 only. We're not yet there. So this is who you will be competing with, versus the full village that was going every year to Canada, to the US, and that became your competition there from your own country. This is the reality, and you should start noticing that, I think. Yeah. In regards to the company, by the way, the French company, something else I would like to say that set us apart from the US, for instance, or even the UK, by the way. The kind of job they're creating here, they are not BPO, low class of jobs. These are the GCCs, the Global Capability Centers. So they are, for instance, Société Générale in Bangalore, 60,000 employees. This is the innovation hub for the whole world. So the headquarters in Paris, yes, and some of the things are happening there, but a lot of the projects that are global in their perspective are done in India. So we are talking about quality jobs. And they're not the only one, there are more and more that are coming to India, to Hyderabad, by the way, as well. You should start noticing that as well.
And more than 700 Indian companies are also operating in France. So this will also give really a bright opportunity for the Indian students who pursued their bachelor's or master's from France to explore their career opportunities in the Indian companies which are operating in France?
Thank you so much. One more question. It's an open question. Anyone can answer. Any of the panelists can answer the question. See, I can see, a lot of the students who are under age of 18 here. So I have a question. The question is, I think even the parents, they think about it. Just want to know how safety is France for the students, especially the students who are under the age of 18. Because as you know, other countries, we have some gun culture or something like that. So just want to know, how safety is France for the students, especially the students who are under the age of 18.
I mean, here I might just say one thing, an anecdote I had, just so that you see the difference. I used to represent a school from France, another business school, and we just opened a campus in Paris. The campus manager was an American man from New York, and I just wanted to make sure that the housing options they were proposing to our students were safe, in fact. And what I meant by safe was not being catcalled in the street, maybe no pickpocket. That's what I had in mind, okay? Because it was, the housing was in a part of Paris that personally I would not have preferred to go, even though this is what I had in mind. The guy was very upset with me, and he said, "No, but what do you think? There is no serious crimes here." And then I realized he's from New York. In New York, you have people that are carrying guns, and yes, in the metro in New York, you're probably not very safe. So safety, I mean, the world itself, I mean, is a bit, I mean, you're very unlikely to be seriously attacked, if that's the question, if you are in France, compared to the US, for instance. That's what I would say. But you have to accept also, and especially you go to Paris, this is a big city, you need to learn the ways, you need to, of course, be careful like anywhere in the world. Yeah, I mean, sorry, we run freely as girls around even at night, and we're safe. Safe enough, I would say. But you cannot 100% guarantee the safety of a kid abroad. Nobody can do that. You have to know your kids, especially if they're minors. Are they ready for this adventure? If yes, then go for it. It's going to be an amazing opportunity, as safe as can be.
But where my school is, Angers, is considered as one of the safest and friendly cities for the students. So I welcome all the students to my city, Angers, where my school is.
We have also, if you're interested in business, in Omnes we have a school in Monaco, the only school in Monaco. This is the safest place on earth because you have 40,000 of the most, the billionaires of the world. So here again, a very safe place if you're really, really that worried. But it comes a little bit on the pricey versus France, but you will be also exploring France if you are there.
Thank you, Mr. Harshvardhan and Ms. Maud. I think this question has turned out pretty well for both of you. And are there any other questions that, yeah, I think we have one more question from our Head of US Admissions, Mr. Pramod Kumar.
Hi. So my question is, since I deal with a lot of students and especially the undergrad students, I still get, I mean, whenever I try to promote AI or data science, I still get a lot of students asking or saying that we would stick to the basics, we would go ahead with the traditional computer science degree because we would want to have a solid foundation of coding skill set or maybe any other basic skill set that comes with traditional computer science degree. So what is your recommendation? Is it a right move or not? And my next question is, can we expect the fashion capital of the world to also become the AI capital? If so, by when can we expect, and is there any strategical approach for that apart from investing a lot of money? That's all. Thank you.
Investment is not from the French government. The investment from abroad, and we are already the third capital of the world for deep tech. So not first, yes, but still, we are already there. But we're also the fashion capital in the world. That is true as well. You can be both. You can be champion many times. Hopefully champion of in football as well? Who knows? Very soon. Do you want to answer the part on computer science?
Trying to sort of aggregate everything in maybe 4 or 5 best points that Indian students should start looking at France as one of the best options. First is all put together accommodation subsidy, which is, I think, is the biggest saver as far as students' accommodation is concerned, which includes safety aspect of it. Second is health coverage that French government offers to international students, which also is a big saver. Fourth one is €1 meal, which is very, very new. Students are guaranteed full meal in €1, which I think is one of the only country globally which offers so much of care and protection to students, even international. Fourth one is subsidized public transport, which again is helpful. And fifth one is alumni visa. So you have a French qualification, come back to India for any reason, and you are eligible to get it stamped on 5 years with 90 days cycle, where not only in France you can access entire European Union to explore opportunities. So if you look at it, these 5 strong pillars of coming and studying in France, that too in English language, comparing with the time and the money that one is investing, I think it is time to rethink really what we are really looking for, what type of educational investment we are trying to make, and what is going to come back as a return. And I think France, as of now, is one of the strongest contenders to attract Indian talent, with someone as top as President of France coming to India and inviting Indian students to come and study France, vis-a-vis. Tell me another president or political figure coming to India and asking Indian students to come and study in their country. On the contrary, we keep on all the time get threats from visa crabs, changes of visa policies, Indian students not welcomed anymore, this thing, that thing, internal policies changed, this card will not be issued, that card will not be issued, this country has raised the financial conditions for entering our country, no job opportunities. So how many years we are going to suffer this type of threats in international education? I think this is the time to really make a call as far as who is supporting us, who is welcoming us, and at what cost. You have to wait on the basis of how much money, what type of concessions and facilities and privileges are getting offered, and what type of a bouquet of 28, 29 countries access with one single qualification, say for example in this case from France. So are we really thinking, or are we really just committing something which is not promising anything and overlooking something which is completely great opportunity with welcoming approach? This is time to really think about it.
I agree with everything you said, for sure. But I think there was a question on should we advise students who are still wanting to do coding to get into AI. Did I understand that well? That this is what you asked, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just asking you the recommendation about for students who still want to go ahead with traditional computer science degree, because they would want to have a solid foundation of computer science degree, the basics, especially the coding skills or DBA skills or be it whatever that comes with the traditional degree.
That's not an easy question to answer. Here, I would say, first of all, generally, if it's a student who knows that they are okay with long studies, spending 3 years focusing on that, because then later they will be able to go to AI, is not a problem at all. I mean, I would say for anything you want to learn humanities, you want to learn economics, which are not, necessarily going to give you a job right after, as long as you have the possibility to do a master behind, that would help you get into the employment market, and that could help you. I mean, it's not bad to have computer science to do 2 years of master in AI behind, but it is 4 years. That's where it's becoming a bit more problematic, unless the Bachelor of Engineering of 4 years start implementing AI within. Then that's kind of okay. There won't be much of roles in coding in the future, because it's replaced. I mean, there are Anthropic. I mean, all those tools are there. But I was speaking with one big IT company from France that is here, and that had to rethink everything. What they need right now are people who can overlook what the agents are doing in terms of coding, because you still need to be able to change that in the future. So you need to make sure that you understand what's going on, make sure it's qualitative, and make sure that, yeah, whenever there's no need to change, you are in control. So that's where a fresher is a bit of a problem, and they need people who are higher. But they thought of the thing differently. They started implementing new tests and new training to bring their current staff to a certain level. And 70% of their staff in France that is being trained through critical thinking have been able to pass the test and are in capacity to go for this. They tried the same in India with the staff, and I'm very happy with them. However, that element of that agility to get into that type of thinking was a bit more complicated for them. It's about, not just learning tools, it's about learning, becoming a specialist, that's what I should say more, what coding could be, and being able to unlearn and restart, in a way. So they've been facing this, so they're looking at ways to make it work also here. But that's where the pedagogy matters. So they have to look beyond just the curriculum. It's how this content is brought to them. Should not be just exam, clearly not. Or just your certificate from, knowing Python, but without any context, there's no point. So that would be my answer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, panel, for patiently answering all the questions in the Q&A session. With this question, we are closing the Q&A session for now. Now I request Mr. Suresh Mastad, our head of admissions, to give the final insights for our students.
Good evening, everyone. So the time is running out. Basically, we have some time constraints. So actually, we are supposed to close by 8 o'clock, Harshita, if I'm not wrong. It's already 8. I'm delighted to see the participation from students, parents, business associates, and especially, the panelists. Thank you so much. My special thanks to all the panelists for accepting my invitation in the last minute. Thank you so much. Don't worry, Karthik, we are ready to finish. Our CFO is worried because some extra charges may be levied. Don't worry, we have Harsha and Amod with us. If any extra charges are levied, they will look after that. So, thank you. Yes. See, I have an important announcement. Tomorrow, 13th of June, so we are conducting on-spot assessment sessions with the representatives. So if you want to meet the representatives, if you want to, have a one-on-one session with them, you can visit our office. We are located in Jubilee Hills, road number 36, pillar number 1634. So I welcome all the students and the parents. If you want to have a one-on-one session with all the representatives, you can directly visit our office. 11 o'clock. The timings are 11 to 3 p.m. if I'm not wrong. Sorry, 2 p.m. 11 to 2 p.m. See, one thing what I want to tell is, as a head of admissions, I often meet a lot of students. So nowadays, due to the uncertainties with the bigger countries, so the students' mindset is changing. So I have noticed this, and I want to create some awareness to all the students and the parents. See, we have some new emerging destinations like France or Germany. So that's the reason, we have conducted this panel discussion. So I hope everyone has enjoyed the discussion, and all your doubts. I think if you have any doubts, I think they got cleared. If I do, I think so. So, right. See, for many years, if I'm not wrong, France is a premier destination for fashion, as my colleague said. for fashion, for culinary, Harsha, if I'm not wrong, for culinary, for luxury brand management. I remember, my old days. I used to watch, fashion TV late nights. How many of you used to do that? Because, still, as my colleague said, the capital city of fashion. But in the recent years, from the past 2 years, French government, they are investing a lot in artificial intelligence and data science. So that's the reason this is the right time to consider a destination which is emerging in technology and artificial intelligence. France is also, emerging as a global hub for startups, innovations, research centers, artificial intelligence, data science and technology. With strong government support, I think everyone is aware of the recent AI summit which was held in India in the month of March or February, if I'm not wrong, subject to correction. So, and again, tomorrow, our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is visiting France to participate in VivTech, okay, which is a summit for, technical companies. So I request all the parents and the students to think about, France as an emerging, destination, especially for the students from Hyderabad and or the Telugu states. So one destination, we have a lot of, opportunities, whether it is a career opportunity or safety or settlement. We have, a lot of opportunities open for the international students. So I thank you one and all once again for your participation, and I thank you all the panelists. I can, if anyone wants to, meet them one-on-one, you can directly visit our office tomorrow at 11 a.m. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the additional insights that you have pulled up from your all the experience these years. So we are now at the conclusion of this insightful and inspiring session. Many people say that good things come to an end eventually, but I don't think we wanted to end this session today. So here we are with, as Mr. Suresh mentioned, we have an on-spot assessment tomorrow. So if anyone have missed out asking questions, or if you haven't remembered something that you wanted to ask today, tomorrow is the day for you. You can come to our office, meet the representatives in person, have a one-on-one session with them, clear your doubts, and get all the information that you need for your careers. That said, it is my privilege to extend our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who contributed to making today's event a success. First and foremost, we sincerely thank our distinguished panelists, Mr. Amod Bhatt, Director at Avian City School of Technology, Business and Society, Mr. Harshavardhan Erra, South Asia Manager at ESAIP School of Engineering, Ms. Disha Raj, Country Manager, India, DSTI School of Engineering, Ms. Maud, South Asia Manager for International Admissions at Omnes Education Group, and how could I forget the surprise guest, Milo, from this team. So I thank everyone for sharing your expertise, experiences and valuable insights into AI, innovation and higher education opportunities in France. Your presence and participation elevated the experience for everyone in audience today. In addition, we convey our profound appreciation to our esteemed guests who joined us virtually from France, Mr. Laurent, Director of International Relations at Avon City School of Technology, Business and Society, and Mr. Sebastian, CEO of DSTI School of Engineering. Thank you for bridging continents to be part of this important conversation. And I also thank everyone for your time to guide and inspire our students, parents and professionals. We also express our sincere gratitude to our leadership team, Mr. Rajesh Kumar Dasari, Director and CEO, and Mr. Karthik Chaudhary Namburi, Director and CFO of Texas Review, for their vision, leadership, and commitment to creating meaningful platforms that connect aspiring students with global opportunities. We offer our deepest appreciation to our moderators, Mr. Suresh Masta, Head of Admissions and Counseling Services, and Ms. Sarika Maisigari, Assistant Head of Europe Admissions, for successfully conducting and coordinating today's engaging discussion. Last but not the least, we would also like to acknowledge the incredible efforts of our internal teams whose hard work behind the scenes made this event possible. A big thank you to our offline and online marketing team, admin team, IT and technical support team, admission and counseling teams, and every staff member who contributed to organizing today's event. Your dedication and teamwork are deeply appreciated. Finally, a sincere thank you to all the students, parents, working professionals and business associates who joined us today till late and who have experienced all the Q&A session as well. Your enthusiasm, participation and thoughtful questions made this session truly meaningful and impactful. We hope today's discussion has inspired you to think globally, embrace innovation and confidently explore the exciting education and career opportunities that France has to offer. Thank you once again for being with us this evening. We look forward to welcoming you tomorrow for our on-spot assessment event. As mentioned, not a goodbye, just see you soon again. Have a wonderful evening ahead and safe travels home. Thank you everyone once again.